Hi everybody, my name is Rachael Reynolds and I work for Healthy Communities of the Capital Area for the main SNAP-Ed program. I'm just making some dinner for myself and I thought I would take this time to make a short video to show you what I'm doing. So once again, I picked a recipe from our Eating Better on a Budget 10 Tips Cookbook. This is downloadable online, and the recipe that I chose is the Indian lentils and pasta. Okay, so this one does take about 45 minutes to make, but it is very tasty and well worth it. So I've actually started heating up just a little bit of oil here on the stove, and in just a moment I'm going to add my onion and my garlic to that. So I have a large onion that I've started cutting up, and what I've done is I've cut it in half so that I have a nice flat surface to work with and I'm not chasing it all around the cutting board. And I've also made some additional cuts in it to make it easier to get nice uniform little dices once I do cut it up. Okay, so I'm just going to get that all cut up and ready to fill up the pan. I have the pan on a medium heat. And because it's been sitting there for a minute, I did set it off to the side so that the oil doesn't get too hot. Okay, so I've got my onion all diced up into just regular uniform pieces, and I have a clove of garlic. I am lucky enough that I have a garlic press. If you don't have a garlic press, you can just chop it up with your knife, or you can even use like garlic powder or the pre-chopped garlic. Okay. Okay. Giving it a stir so that it doesn't burn or stick to the bottom. I'm going to let that cook for 3 or 4 minutes, just until it starts to get translucent and kind of like see through a little bit. Okay. The other thing I just kind of improvised just slightly is that I really like celery, and I happen to have some on hand, so I did chop up a stalk of celery, and I'm going to add that into the pan as well. You could also do things like carrots or zucchini, whatever you like. Stir that around again. Those are actually looking pretty good. So I'm going to add in 3 cups of water. Now my pan will quiet down a little bit. I'm also going to add in a can of diced tomatoes. I happen to have the fire roasted ones on hand. You can use whatever ones you happen to have. If you don't have diced, say you have like a whole stewed tomato, you can just kind of crush those up. So I'm going to put that in with the onion and the celery and the garlic and water. And I'm also leaving the juice that was in there for this particular recipe. I'm also going to add my 1/2 cup of lentils. which I have rinsed off. You want to be careful and make sure that you rinse them off and just check them over to make sure that there aren't any little rocks or anything in there. And then I measured out, I have a teaspoon of cumin, I have a teaspoon of turmeric, and I have just a 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes. If you don't like things that are really kind of spicy, you can leave the red pepper flakes off. Okay, so I'm going to add that right into the pan. One of the things I like about this recipe is that I'm just using the one pan, so I'm not making too much of a mess to clean up later. I'm going to stir that all together. And then I'm actually going to turn the heat down from a medium-high heat to a low heat. And I'm going to put a cover on it. Okay, so this would have to cook for about 25 minutes or so until the lentils start to really soften up. And then after that happens, towards the end, I'm going to add a 1/2 cup of just a small pasta. You could also use brown rice or whatever rice you have on hand. I would recommend cooking the rice beforehand though. With the little teeny tiny pasta that I have, I can add it right to the dish and then continue cooking it for another 10 minutes. Until the pasta gets nice and soft. Okay. So in the interest of time, I know you probably don't want to watch me talk for 25 minutes. I have actually made a separate batch of this. You can see here. Now the recipe calls to garnish it with cilantro. I didn't happen to have any cilantro on hand, so I actually used what I did have. I had some parsley, I had some scallions, and I also had the green part of the top of the celery leaves. And I've just chopped those up and used those as a garnish. A lot of people don't realize that those are edible, but they're actually really delicious. They have a really huge parsley flavor, and I love to add them into things like soups and salads, my tuna fish sandwiches, all that sort of thing. It really gives a nice celery flavor without the crunch. Okay. I hope you like this recipe and that you give it a try. It's a really nice, satisfying dish all on its own, but it also makes a great side. And for more healthy recipes, you can like us on Facebook, and you can also visit our website, and we will put a little link to that in the video towards the end. Thank you and have a great night.